We are live for a special edition of the Maverick Soul Hour with Tommy Marr right here in the Madhouse. And tonight, folks, we got a really special show for you tonight. We just had a crazy setup here trying to do some sound checks here, so bear with us, bear with me, because I didn't really get a chance to go over everything I wanted to go over. But we do have some special people in the house tonight. So I would like to start with introducing Mr. Staehely, his John, brother John, Evelyn Rubio, and Mark Singer.
Well, the reason they're laughing is because we have an impossible name.
Staehely.
Staehely, yeah, there you go.
Staehely,
but we weren't smart enough to change our name to Sting or something when we were 20.
Cher.
Yeah.
We had the colossal conceit to think we could actually do well with a name like Staehely. You know?
Well, it does make you probably, people think more about it, that's for sure. How do you say that again?
That's right.
But Staehely.
Yeah, you did it.
Did I say it wrong?
I just had an accent on a different
Oh,
song.
New Yorker, what are you going to do?
It doesn't matter. Let's move on.
We should have asked the Englishman.
It's all
over
good.
there.
It's all good.
For any of you guys that don't know or remember the band Spirit, I was a member of that band, and I do only because I have a very big Woodstock following. So I do. I know you probably don't even want to answer this question, and you probably I don't believe you were in the band at the time, but I was told that Spirit was offered the slot at Woodstock right before Hendrix. And they turned it down because they wanted your manager at the time.
I can tell you what I was told.
Okay, then that's good enough for me.
I was told, Mark Andes told me that Lou Adler, who was the manager and producer of Spirit at the time, said, no, let's don't do that Woodstock thing. I've got a deal for you in this movie called Model Shop, which they did do, which was a complete bomb, and I'm not sure they ever have forgiven him for that since, but
there's a few of those stories out there. I think the Vanilla Fudge actually did a movie too. I think they did a movie or something too at the time. There was a few of them that did some crazy.
Yeah, but you know, really, I don't think anyone knew that it was going to be the sociological event of the 20th century. In fact, I'll tell you, that summer of '69, I was living in New York. Just for the summer, I came up and I was working for ASCAP, and also trying to get my songs around and get something going. And me and my buddy were going to go to Woodstock. So as soon as I got off work on Friday, the plan was we're going to get in the car, we're going to drive up for that Woodstock thing. Well, by the time I got off work, all the reports were, it's raining cats and dogs, the cars are lined up for miles, and we thought, I don't think we'll do it. You know, not knowing, and of course, if we'd known what it was going to turn out.
Could you imagine if everybody that was going went,
had gone,
and the people that were stuck on the road? I mean, millions of people. But and there's only one more question I'm going to trouble you with, and it's about the Zeppelin. That Jimmy Page actually from the instrumental Taurus, he took that almost note for note for the beginning of Stairway to Heaven.
Once again, I can only tell you whatever.
Well, you're the closest I'm going to get.
Okay, yeah. Well, I do know this. Spirit had done a lot of shows with Led Zeppelin when Zeppelin first started. And so it's certainly feasible, and not only feasible, probably likely that there was an influence there. Although I got to believe since Lou Adler probably controlled the publishing, if he felt that there was a claim to be made, he probably would have made it.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. You got to keep them seats on the court. You know?
Right.
So you got into the band '71.
Yeah, my brother John and I were in a band in Austin with Curly Smith, and our drummer, Curly, left Austin to go to L.A. about, I guess, 6 or 8 months before I did, and he joined Mark Andes and Jay Ferguson, who were leaving Spirit to form JoJo Gunn. So then I went out to L.A., and Mark introduced me to the remaining members of Spirit, Ed Cassidy, John Locke, Randy California, and so then I started rehearsing with those guys, and then they asked me to join the group and as a bass player, and lead singer other than Randy, and I was writing songs for what was to be the new album. And then at some point, before we ever got in the studio to record, I think Randy was going through a rough time, and he quit, and he quit the band, and John Locke and I went up to his house, tried to talk him out of it, and no, he wanted to quit. And so then John Locke and Ed Cassidy weren't sure, well, are we going to keep going, or what are we going to do?
Was it Neil Young involved with that too?
I think probably what you're thinking there is David Briggs, who produced, Neil Young also produced the Sardonicus album, and then he produced the album that my brother and I did with Spirit.
Well, I had read something that he was very influential with getting Randy back into the band, that he actually went and sat with him and had him, and actually talked them back into the band.
Well, I wish he had when we were in the band. If he didn't. Well, to tell you the truth, there was a time when Randy did want to come back in the band, and interestingly enough, Ed Cassidy, his stepfather, didn't want him back in the band. And then, but later on, when it broke up, Ed and Randy got back together. But I kind of wish he and Ed would have made amends while we were all together. I think it'd been cooler.
That's a shame. But I don't really want to dwell on the Spirit thing, but I do, just your take on your time with them. Just a quick.
No, I'm happy to talk about it.
I mean, it's rock history, and,
Well, just.
They want to know.
And just where we left off is, like I said, when Randy quit, there was, believe it or not, we just kept rehearsing three-piece for a while with me and John Locke and Ed Cassidy. For a while, we were a trio, piano, bass, and drums. And what's wild to think about is we actually went out and played some shows like that, and it really went over well. We were thinking, how's this going to be? Piano, bass, and drums trio, Spirit. It went over well, but then my brother, John, was playing in a group called Cracker Jack in Austin with Tommy Shannon, who, now is part of Double Trouble, but he and Uncle John Turner had been, the original rhythm section for Johnny Winter. And so it was the two guys from Johnny Winter's band. It was John on guitar, who was like 19 at the time, and was like the star guitar player in Austin at that time. Eric Johnson has quoted my brother as being one of his influences. Yeah. Mike Kindred on keyboards, who later, who's an incredible keyboard player in the style of Nicky Hopkins and that kind of style. In fact, he wrote Cold Shot later on for Stevie Ray Vaughan did. And it's a real cool singer named Bruce Boland. And they had probably the best original group in Austin at the time. But John came out to visit me. When he did, we invited him over to jam with Spirit. And so he knocked him out, and everybody asked him to join the band. He literally joined the band, if I recall, just 3 or 4 weeks before we went in to record the Feedback album.
Yeah, we went up to San Francisco.
So your brothers, they get along then?
Yeah, we've had our moments.
I got 2 older brothers. I know the deal.
But I mean, but when you listen to Feedback, listen to his guitar playing and think about he was 19.
Yeah.
Playing great.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And you also, I know you probably might not want to go there, but you have a law. You're a lawyer, and you're very well known in the business. You've had Stevie Ray Vaughan, Billy Gibbons, many big names, right?
Paul Kantner, Johnny Nash, but it's actually everybody said, "Oh, you're so clever to have a backup plan." Well, I was trying to stay out of Vietnam at the time, and I was in a band in college with 2 law students, and I was an undergraduate, and it was time for me to graduate. And if I didn't do something, I was going to get drafted probably. So they said, "Look, go to law school with us for a year until we graduate at least." And so I started law school thinking I wouldn't finish, and after the first year, I realized I've been tricked. If you finish the first year, you might as well finish, because that's the killer year. So I was already technically a lawyer when I joined Spirit, but I didn't ever get around to doing anything with it until about 10 years later. So.
I was actually reading some of your do's and not to do's today, and really, I mean, it is something that people really, I mean, because especially now the music business, I mean, like on Long Island, I mean, it's enormous. I mean, probably the music mecca of the world right now. I mean, it's amazing. You could go see 100 bands any night, great bands. I mean, it's amazing. But people really, they still don't know what to do, I mean, it would be, I mean, do you have a book at all? Or, I mean,
no,
I know the notes that I read on your what to do's and what not to do's is really good. I mean, so.
No, people say, why don't you read it? There are enough music books. And actually, if some of your buddies want to read a good one, Don Passman has a good book that I'd recommend. But I still like representing the clients I have, but I quit performing for many years when my son was born, and now he's all grown up, and so now I can come out and play again. So I've got enough to do right now.
I hear you.
Sitting down trying to write a book.
Then the grandkids come, and then I got 6 grandsons. I'm coaching Little League, but it's all good. It's all good.
It is.
So tell me, how did this happen?
Okay, well, yeah, let me talk about, here, let me lead up to this a minute. Actually, this album that you're sitting over here with the red guitar on it, my brother and I and Mark Singer down there, the drummer, we did that back in the 80s, and it was out only in Europe on Polydor Records. At that time, vinyl and cassette had never been out on CD because it came out right before CDs came out. But I owned it. I'd licensed it to Deutsche Grammophon, who released it on the Polydor label. And I guess it was about, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, Freddie Steady Kirch, who is a drummer and used to play with Jerry Jeff Walker and had a group later called Explosives, and he played with B.W. Stevenson, and he's got a little label called Steady Boy Records. At that point, once in a while I'd go sit in with people, but I wasn't performing out anymore. And Freddie said, "Hey, why don't you come do 4 songs with our band, and also we got a gig coming up, be a guest, we know some of your songs." I said, "Okay." So I did that, and then he said, "Hey, why don't you come do this Rider in the Round thing I'm doing over at Threadgills, and bring your acoustic guitar, we'll do a song swap." "Oh, okay." "Hey, you know that album you had out in Germany in the 80s, it was never released on CD and it's never been released in the US. I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Why don't you let me release it on Steady Boy Records?" I said, "Well, okay." Then, "Okay, now you've got an album out, you need to do some gigs." So he started reeling me in,
Well, that had to be a good thing. Once you got your feet wet again, right?
I thank him for it, because I sort of needed somebody to give me a little push. And so really, these the same people, obviously not Evelyn, because I'm sure she wasn't born back then.
Well, she looks really good.
That's why she
makes us look good.
So we've been doing some gigs, but speaking of Evelyn, let me tell you about her. She's from Mexico City, and great sax player, great singer. I guess it was about 7 years ago, 6, 7 years ago, she moved to Houston, and she loves the blues. I mean, down in Mexico, she was in a band, a rock band, but she's also been in some Latin bands. She'd done all kinds of things, but her love was the blues. And I don't know if you're familiar with Calvin Owens, who used to be B.B. King's band leader for many, many years. He's from Houston. He was a client of mine, and he had the Calvin Owens Blues Orchestra, and he had a little label called Sawdust Alley Records. I introduced Evelyn to him. He flipped out over her sax playing, her singing, put her in his band, produced one album on her with his blues orchestra, with her singing in Spanish. Oh, really? So it's kind of interesting. Blues, big band blues with Spanish lyrics. He was in the middle of doing the second album when he passed away. And so Evelyn has now gotten the rights to the album, has finished it, and one of the things we're going to be doing up here in New York, there's interest from a label up here that wants to talk to her about releasing it. And so probably sometime in the middle of this year, her second solo album will come out. And interestingly enough, she's done it 2 ways: English lyrics and Spanish lyrics. And I was just over at Medium in France at the Music Business Convention, and I had sort of an interesting experience. This company from Argentina was really interesting because we played for the Argentine company thinking, wow, they dig the Spanish language lyrics on these blues songs. And they said, we love it, but we like the English language version. I played it for Arnie and my friend Mike Carden, who's at Eagle Rock, and he said, I love it, but I like the Spanish. So the English company likes the Spanish version, and the Spanish version likes the English. So who knows?
As long as they like it.
As long as they like it.
You're right, yeah.
So now, when did the bro get in? When did the call come for the brother?
Starting when? I mean,
Well, I mean, this project.
Oh, this project.
Oh.
Well, like I say, he played on this project way back when.
And
so
produced it.
He's been a part
So
of that
I mean,
project.
after they drew you back in.
Oh well, then we started doing some gigs, and Mark still lives in L.A. John and I live in Houston, even though we're third generation Austinites. We're currently living in Houston, but like I said, Mark would fly in from L.A. and we started doing some gigs, and actually even Mark Andes, the original bass player from Spirit, who then later played with Firefall and Heart, through an interesting twist of fate, has ended up living in the greater Houston area, and sometimes he plays bass with us. So sometimes we play, and we have 3 ex-Spirit members.
So this is the kind of the original setup of this band.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
We had a
I
different.
mean, Mark, you've also played with the Moody Blues, right?
Tell him who you played with, Mark.
Just dropping a name over there.
Drop a few.
He's here. I might as well drop it.
We need to drop all of
I never played
these.
with Spirit. Okay, let's get it straight. Okay,
Well,
never worked with Spirit.
You play with your spirit.
Just everyone
Yeah.
that was in the.
How is the chemistry amongst the band? Is it good? I know everybody. I always talk about it, but I really feel it's so important. And obviously, you guys look like you have a great chemistry together.
Yeah, we do. We have fun.
You have fun. Is that all? That's all.
But
that matters.
people do other things. I mean, John's got another band that he does some gigs with sometimes, and Evelyn is in demand in the Houston area, and Mark does other things. So, we're all
Busy.
doing some other things, but.
Are you getting too busy?
No, it's about right.
Yeah, that's good.
That's about right at the moment.
That's great. All right, well, I think we're going to go to a commercial, and we're going to come right back, and we're going to be talking about some really good stuff. And we got some live music coming up for you, so hang in there, get yourself tight. We'll be right back with the Maverick Soul. Hang in there.
YesWeCare.net is a 501c3 charity that provides help to veterans and their families. Please visit YesWeCare.net and donate in any way you can by purchasing our beautiful frame prints or relaxation CDs and DVDs, even smooth jazz CDs. YesWeCare.net. Remember, our troops are on their way home. They need all the support they can get. YesWeCare.net.
Are you planning an event and want to include entertainment, but you're not sure where to turn? Act1Entertainment.net has provided over 1,500 events with quality, affordable live entertainment at private parties, corporate affairs, festivals, bike rallies, and more. Act 1 will fit into your budget. They're friendly, reliable, and do all the legwork for you. They take all major credit cards. Log on to Act1Entertainment.net for a free, no-obligation price quote, or call 631-758-3505 for a brochure. You'll be happy you did.
you.
For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
Brooklyn's best locksmith and hardware.
We have 3 of the largest showrooms of safes on display and in stock. You can see and touch them in person instead of browsing a catalog. We carry gun and rifle safes, burglary safes, jewelry safes, fire rated from a half hour to 2 hour. Famous name brands.
We sell Gardol.
We sell AMSAC.
The new AMSAC touchscreen.
If you're ever in need of a safe, think Brooklyn's best locksmith and hardware. Right, Lockie?
That's right, Alan.
I am Tom Mealy for the Harrison Law Group, and I have been telling you for years that getting involved in an automobile accident is no joke. This is what we do. We're not new at this game. If you've been involved in an accident of any kind, and you go to a law firm that says you have no case, it's simple. It's because they can't do it and they don't get it. You need to call us directly at 1-800-INJURY-LAW.
Video, trust me, we're not going to do trust me. So
we are back in the madhouse with the Maverick Soul. And let me tell you, tonight it is a madhouse. And I am here with Al Staehely and his brother John, Evelyn Rubio, and Mark Singer. And John,
yes.
Why don't you, now I know you have played with a lot of different people also.
Yes, yes, yes.
Do tell.
Well, after Spirit, I joined JoJo Gunn, which was an offshoot, with Mark Andes and Jay Ferguson. Played with them a while and toured with Robert Palmer, Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan, man.
Yeah, yeah. And,
how was that?
That was a lot of fun. But anyway, I played in a group with Paul Rogers, too, and Kenny Jones of The Who.
Love Paul Rogers.
Yeah. It was great, great thing. So I've been around.
That's cool.
Yeah.
This
was all between the gap between doing
this. Is there any really, I guess the Dylan thing's got to be a strong point.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, how long did you tour with him?
Off and on for about a year.
Yeah.
And, it was great.
When was
experience.
That about?
It was in
which Dylan?
It was yeah. It was 90 and 91.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, we just saw him, I think last year or the year before up at Bethel Woods.
Yeah.
Really, he was the best I've seen him. I've seen him many times, but it was the best I've seen him.
The last time I saw him, he was really sharp.
Yeah, he actually smiled. It was amazing.
He looked like he was having fun.
It was amazing. So you've been with all the big boys then too.
I have.
I mean, this is a lot of history sitting here.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
That's terrific. And young lady over there.
Yay.
How do you feel? How do you feel about sitting in with these guys? It must be really good.
Just imagine, I'm the lucky, crazy Mexican. Having fun, rock and roll.
Are you having fun?
Sure, a lot.
That's all that matters.
A lot. I'm just blessed, enjoying and listening all these stories and listen to them play. It just makes me feel like, first lucky and second, like that's where I want to be. That's the.
You were meant to be here right now.
Yay.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, she makes us look good, so I have to say that again.
That ain't stupid.
Well,
but you guys do look good, I got to tell you. You look good.
Yeah.
And Mark, I know you're happy, because you just look like you're always happy. So
I'm sorry I'm talking so much.
Well, I want to give you, I want to get you in there. But now you have played with the Moody Blues. Anybody else?
Oh, I started with the Righteous Brothers when I was 17.
Oh. One of my favorites ever.
Very
ever.
Never worked with Spirit, but
one of the few.
I did a world tour with Jay Ferguson. We had the hit record Thunder Island, who was Spirit. It's funny how my connection with Spirit is all
very spiritual.
I've been working with the Staehely brothers for, gosh, how long now?
40 years.
40 years.
Is that right?
Whoops, sorry.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Off and on. Really? Off and on, yeah. We've known
Well,
each other.
we used to work with Al in Los Angeles before we did the album, in the 70s, when he lived out there.
Yeah.
And played all the clubs.
So you're still in L.A. though, right?
Yeah, I'm still in Los Angeles.
So you're bouncing back and forth.
And then went to London and worked with Steelers Wheel and a lot of other, done a lot of other records, and ended up back where I guess I belong, at the end of the line, working with Al.
I mean, I heard you play here with this, and it sounds pretty good to me. Matter of fact, Janine, can we go to a video and see a little something here?
Trust me, she said, in a tiny little voice. Trust me, she said, I will free you from choice. Trust me, she said, I know better than you what you need to survive, what will make you feel alive. Trust me, oh, trust me, she said. I'll trust you, I said, without blinking an eye. 'Cause lately I've been living a shabby little lie. I'll gladly try to your way. You draw the lines. I'm sure your version of me will be better than mine. Trust me, oh, trust me, she said. Ooh, oh, trust me. Trust me, she said. Ooh, you be the artist and I'll be the clay. Mold me, shape me, pull me every which way until you get me like you like me. Maybe we'll find your version of me will be better than mine. Trust me, she said, I see you're bold with yourself. Trust me, 'cause you must be somebody else. You got a great act, but it's getting sort of stale. I got a version of you, ain't no way it can fail. Trust me, she said. Ooh, oh, trust me, she said. Trust me, you be the artist, I'll be the clay. Mold me, shape me, pull me every which way, till you get me like you like me now, and maybe we'll find your version of me will be better than mine. Sometimes you got to trust a little girl with a tiny little voice. Trust that girl, she will free you from choice. You be the artist, now I'll be the clay. Mold me, shape me, pull me every which way. Come on, come on. No, trust me, yeah.
We are back live. I hope you guys all enjoyed that video because we sure did. I'd like to talk a little bit. You guys are in town to do a couple of gigs.
Yeah, Thursday night.
Well, let me, before we even go, Janine, can we put up the posters for the shows? Okay.
Thursday at Hill Country Barbecue, which is a Texas-themed place, and we're, like I say, we're from Austin, which is right on the edge of the Hill Country, and they have a venue. They have what I'm told is the best barbecue in New York, but then they have downstairs a venue.
Lonnie would know.
So we're playing the one in Manhattan Thursday, the 27th, and the next night in Brooklyn. They've got a new one in Brooklyn. And then actually the next Tuesday, we're going to do the one in Washington, D.C. They have one in D.C. too. And, well, what's interesting on a personal level about this, and I don't consider it a step down, but the last time my brother and I did a gig together in New York City, we headlined Carnegie Hall with Spirit. And now we're playing Hill Country Barbecue, and I'm proud to say it.
Yeah. That's a classic. Write that down. That's good. Hey, listen, it's all about doing it and just having fun. And,
That's
I mean,
right.
You guys look like you're having a ball. I mean, you're a good group, great group of people. And please, whoever's listening, if you're in the tri-state area, come on down. It's tomorrow night. And
tomorrow night, Thursday. It's on 26th Street, I believe, right?
And 26th Street. 30 West 26th Street. Go on down. Check these guys out. I guarantee you'll have a great time.
And then, Friday night in Brooklyn. It's the brand new one they just opened up in January, I think. So
Friday night, Brooklyn.
For all you hipsters that want to see what the old school's like.
Brooklyn's hot now. Brooklyn is big now. That's the place to be now.
Hey, you know,
really.
I heard that.
You know, I know that your show is all over the world, and I might want to mention some of the things, you know, my brother and I and Mark have done some things internationally that might be of interest to your audience. I did a couple of tours of Europe with John Cipollina from Quicksilver Messenger Service, who had a big following over there in Europe, and Nick Ravenitis, you remember from the Electric Flag with Mike Bloomfield. And then we did a album in Germany at the end of that tour, and it's still out and about. And we did a Rock Palast, which means Rock Palace, in England, show that they just put out
that's
on DVD just a year or so ago. And John's, he toured Japan with who was that guy with the shoes?
Akichi Yazawa. He's like one of the biggest pop stars over there. We played the Tokyo Dome 2 nights. It was just insane.
Well, you guys will be happy to know that we have massive fans in England, Germany, and Tokyo. Yeah. Massive. And Australia. Massive.
Well, you know what, John, and one of the last things we did with Spirit is we did a tour of Australia, which included 2 shows in Tasmania.
That's right.
How many of your pals have played Tasmania?
I don't know.
And even wrote a song there called "Rockin' in the Bush" that ended up being on the Staehely Brother album. That's another story.
It's been a good time.
It really was.
I guess. Who wrote that song? There you go. All right. Well, listen, I don't know how we're hooked on time. Are we still good? Okay, we're good. What else do we want to go?
Hey, and tell us a little bit about Tommy.
Nah, they know enough about me. Believe me. I you know, like I said, I have all these notes here. There's so many things I would like to talk about. Well, I really want you guys, you know, to have this time to tell the world and you know, let everybody know what you're doing and what, you know, what's important.
Well, let's talk, since we're doing the hill country thing, let's talk about Texas a little bit and some of the influences we had. John and I were lucky enough, we can honestly say the first time we ever heard the song "Going Down" is when Freddie King taught it to us the afternoon before we were backing him up. Freddie had done the album "Getting Ready," you know, that Leon Russell produced, but it wasn't out yet. And John and I were hired to back him up for a couple of shows in Austin and Dallas. And so the afternoon of the gig, he sent and showed us the songs that were going to be on this yet-to-be-released album. One of them was "Going Down." And
love doing that song.
Oh,
what a
yeah.
groove.
In fact, you know what?
That song has the greatest groove. It just never stops.
We're going to do it tomorrow night. Come on down. We'll do it if you can get on in there, because
I have to try to work something out.
And but I don't know.
Yeah, there'll be another amp there. Come sit.
I'll jump in there in a second.
But I don't know. Gosh, so many stories. I mean, John's got them. Chuck Berry got. I mean, everybody's played with Chuck Berry, but I remember doing a couple of shows with Chuck Berry in Texas, and then you know how he would always, he's famous for not bringing his own band and making the promoter furnish the band. The first gig I got when I moved to LA, in fact, Mark Andes got me the gig because JoJo Gunn was on the show with Chuck Berry. So he got me a gig backing up Chuck Berry. So I go backstage and I say, Chuck, I don't know if you remember, I worked with you a year ago in Texas, down in Houston, Galveston. I know how you like to work. I know you don't like to tell us what songs you're going to play. You just like to start playing it. But if you would turn around and shout the key, it would really help out. And he just looked at me and said, man, I'll give you a 4-bar intro. I said, okay, never mind.
It's funny. I'm laughing inside because I just, probably a month ago, I had the Destroyers on the show. Right. And they were telling some Chuck Berry stories. And they, you know, kind of like your story right there. Very.
But you know, on the other hand, one time I remember my college band. We were playing some private party up at a Holiday Inn in Dallas, and so, Chuck Berry had a show that night apparently, and he was staying at that Holiday Inn, and he just came inside in and played with us for free. It was a good, you know. So
for free?
Yeah, just
yeah. That's a
I mean,
switch.
There's the other side of him when he didn't.
Never heard that side.
Yeah, I never heard it.
Now, when you did Carnegie Hall, what was who was it a big card or was it just you guys?
Dr. John was our opening act, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah.
Which
it was the period when came out with all the feathers and
that had to be amazing to some guys.
Magic dust
Texas,
into the air.
You know?
we did a lot of shows with Dr. John on that because we had the same booking agency.
Carnegie Hall.
Oh yeah. You try to tell yourself, oh, it's just another gig.
Yeah.
It ain't just
So you
another
walk in
gig.
there.
You're on that stage. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just
But I'll
it's amazing.
tell you something funny about that night. You know, Ron Delsener from the show. Well, that summer of '69, when I told you I was up here that summer working for ASCAP, I got ASCAP to buy 2 tickets to every concert in the park, Schaefer concert in the park, so I could be a representative for ASCAP, but really because I wanted to go to all the shows.
Right.
And I did the same thing with Kip Coyne at Fillmore Easton. So I think that summer I was making $69 a week from ASCAP, which even in 1969 you couldn't live on. But I was seeing every show that came through New York. And so I got to know Delsener because I'd be the guy from ASCAP hanging out with Delsener. So that was the summer of '69. Well, April '72 is when John and I headlined Carnegie Hall with Spirit. And if you've ever been there, you know,
I've
backstage.
done a lot of work in there, actually.
Then you know how you come, the backstage is upstairs, and you come down this little windy stairway down to the stage. As I was coming down the stairway with my bass on ready to play, I meet Delsener halfway up. He does a double take and says, "What are you doing here?" And I said, "I'm working for you tonight." He said, "I didn't know you were in this band." He just remembered me from the guy from ASCAP from 2 years before.
That's cool. That's cool. That must have been an amazing experience, though.
It was. And the night before,
you don't
we'd
forget
played
that, right?
We'd played the Orpheum in Boston the night before with Procol Harum.
Oh wow!
Which was kind of cool.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. E.J. Wilson on drums. It's great.
I love that group too.
Thing is, it takes both of us to remember what we did because I've
that's
forgotten
good.
half
It
of it
does.
and he's forgotten the other.
I've heard things tonight I've never heard before. You know.
And we're not done yet.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen. There's nothing better than the live music, so we're going to take a little break, and we're going to come back. We're going to set these guys up, and they're going to do their thing right here with the Maverick Soul in the Madhouse. So, guys, get yourself tight. We'll be right back. We're going to have a good time. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidiscipline practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have two practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our two offices. Thank you.
I am Tom Mealy for the Harrison Law Group, and I have been telling you for years that getting involved in an automobile accident is no joke. This is what we do. We're not new at this game. If you've been involved in an accident of any kind, and you go to a law firm that says you have no case, it's simple. It's because they can't do it and they don't get it. You need to call us directly at 1-800-INJURY-LAW.
Brooklyn's best locksmith and hardware.
We have 3 of the largest showrooms of safes on display and in stock. You can see and touch them in person instead of browsing a catalog. We carry gun and rifle safes, burglary safes, jewelry safes, fire rated from a half hour to 2 hour. Famous name brands.
We sell Gardol.
We sell AMSAC.
The new AMSAC touchscreen.
If you're ever in need of a safe, think Brooklyn's best locksmith and hardware. Right, Lockie?
That's right, Alan.
Being a fireman is more than just putting out blazes and giving kittens CPR. Sometimes my duty demands I fan the flames, like when a call comes in from a lady who needs immediate assistance.
Maybe she needs help with a computer thing. Maybe she wants to go antique. Could be as simple as understanding that walking in heels is hard. Ou aussi simple que l'été dernier à Paris. C'est sympa. Maybe it's ladies' night in, and she wants a simple, delicious recipe for margaritas with a twist. First, a can of limeade. Now hold on to this. You'll be using it. Side note, kittens make everything better. Next, add water. Now, a bottle of light beer. No, shh. Trust me, I'm a professional. And last, and most important, Sauza Blue tequila. Now, mix it up. Ole. Yes, that's what I'm trained for. Whether it's to help her choose leggings or pants, telling her leggings are pants, or discussing leggings and jeggings versus pant pegging at her next ladies' night in, I'll come to the rescue. Don't call me a hero. Just call me. Let me know what time.
This is Beth.
Hi.
Oh, congratulations. When are you due?
I'm not pregnant.
Oh, look at that. Excuse me.
You're totally thin.
You look very sexy.
For life's bleachable moments, all it takes is 3/4 cup.
For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
Are you planning an event and want to include entertainment, but you're not sure where to turn? Act1Entertainment.net has provided over 1,500 events with quality, affordable live entertainment at private parties, corporate affairs, festivals, bike rallies, and more. Act 1 will fit into your budget. They're friendly, reliable, and do all the legwork for you. They take all major credit cards. Log on to Act1Entertainment.net for a free, no-obligation price quote, or call 631-758-3505 for a brochure. You'll be happy you did.
He's going down. We are back live in the Madhouse with the Maverick Soul. And ladies and gentlemen, I just want to tell you guys, these guys are going to do a little live stuff for you, but check this album out. Staehely and the boys and girls here, 10,000 hours, live in the Madhouse. You gonna get it now. Come on.
They said it would trickle down. It did not trickle down. It did not trickle down. Well, I said the bailout Freddie Mae and Freddie Mac. The bailout Goldman Sachs. Who's gonna bail me out? Who's gonna bail me out? Well, they tax me hard. My honey, but not the fat cats with all the money. I'm feeling blue cause I'm in the red. I'm in the state of constant dread. hard to tax my honey, but not the fat cash, but all the money. I'm feeling blue 'cause I'm in the red. I'm in a state of constant dread. Why don't they all bail us out? Come on and bail us out. Well, I said they bail out Freddie Mac. They bail out Goldman Sachs. The CEOs took what was left. The rest of us got jacked. Why don't they bail us out? Why don't they bail us out? Come on and bail us out. By the way, you know, when we play tomorrow night, it's going to be a real drum kit, and there's going to be bass. That we're doing this that this is the way it needs to be today here in the studio. Let us do a song. We'll do a little duet with Evelyn here. I'm at the mercy of the moon. She can take me where she will. Run us right, stand me still, turn me cold and make me swoon. I'm at the mercy of the moon. And tonight I see the light pouring down all over you. And as the dew begins to fall and your lips begin to call, I'm in too deep now to refuse. You say you love me, and I know that tonight you really do. But tomorrow comes too soon, and you'll sing another tune, and you'll find somebody new. But tonight we're at the mercy of the moon. She can take us where she will. Run us ragged, stand us still, turn us cold and make us swoon. I'm at the mercy of the moon. This frame, this shows your body close to mine. I would give up this fight for fame. And forget that your last name is his instead of mine. I'm at the mercy of the moon.
I'm at the mercy of the moon.
We're at the mercy of the moon. Thank you. You know what? This might be a surprise to Evelyn, but I'm going to ask her if she's going to do something. But this is in honor of the Hill Country gig and the fact that she's now sort of an honorary Texan since she's been living in Texas for about 7 years. I'm going to ask her if she'll do Crazy, that Willie Nelson song that he wrote, and if she'll do it a cappella, or as we call it in Texas, Acapulco.
Crazy, I'm crazy for a feeling so lonely. Crazy, I'm crazy for a feeling so blue. I knew you loved me as long as you wanted. Then someday you left me for somebody new. Worry, why do I let myself worry? Wondering what in the world did I do? Yes, I'm crazy for thinking that my love could hold you. I'm crazy for crying, crazy for trying, and I'm crazy for loving you. Yes, I'm crazy for crying, crazy for trying, and I'm crazy for loving you. Thank you.
That's Evelyn Rubio. Okay, we got one more for you, and I'll tell you what, we're going to do a song that I wrote in New York City some years ago, and maybe it's for those of you around the world that don't know, it's really cold here right now. That's why we're all wearing these UGG boots, because it's, well, I guess that's a plug for that Australian company, but didn't mean it as that. It's just keeping our feet warm. But this is a song that might warm you up. It was written on the 4th of July, New York City, and actually it was covered. I was pleased to have Peter Cox did it on his solo album last year. He's the guy from the group Go West that you may remember, the English group. And this song's called Feel the Heat. It's 4th of July, New York City, and I'm really feeling the heat. Cops on horseback in Central Park, on Broadway, they're pounding their beats. Black men playing jungle drums out on Amsterdam Street. But I'm light-skinned, fair-headed from out of town, and I can really feel the heat. So lay me on your big old bed, make me feel the things you Then tell me I'm your favorite man. 'Cause it's 4th of July, New York City, and there are fireworks all around. They're drinking beer up in the Bronx, but you never know what's going on in Chinatown. The Upper East Side is all deserted. They have houses at the beach, but they're hanging out in Harlem, and man, you can really feel the heat. So lay me on your big old bed, make me feel the things you said. Turn on your window fan, and tell me I'm your favorite man. 'Cause the city eats a man alive. Need your loving to survive. Now Ripper with an anchor tattooed on his right hand. The sailor missed a boat and spent the last 20 years on land. Now he plays with children in a five-plug fountain and feels complete. Sailing in big bottles down the gutter, he is captain of his fleet. So when you're living down in the village with artists, dykes, and queens, well, Independence Day is every day. Like in a day you've seen, so lay me on your big old bed. Who make me feel the things you said? Turn on your window fan, and tell me I'm your favorite man. Making love on cool white sheets, and I can really, really feel the heat. Whoa, I can really feel the heat. I can really feel your heat, babe. And it feels so sweet when our bodies meet. Every time, every time, every time, every time. Your lips meet
why you brought her along. It's not just a pretty face.
I kept telling you.
I thought you were talking to me.
I was. Listen, I can't thank you guys enough. You were amazing. And I actually liked it with the congas. I got to tell you, I did. It was, but check these guys out. Where can they get this album? Where can they?
It's on Steady Boy Records. You can get it on Amazon or it's distributed physically, supposedly.
All right. Amazon, wherever you can get it. Pick it up. I guarantee you will be a happy person. Enjoy. Guys, thanks so much. It was a blessing to have you guys here. And good luck on your tour. And, I mean, God bless. So, are you coming up or now? Okay. Hang in there. Next Monday night, we'll be right here with the Maverick Soul again. I want to thank you guys for making a special trip. This guy's my brother over here anyway, you know. So be blessed. Have a great week. Peace to you. Love to you guys. We'll see you Monday night right here in the Madhouse with the Maverick Soul. Have a great couple days. Later.
You know the night time is the right time to be with the one you love.